Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course. It's a pleasure to see you. I mean, I know we've seen each other at parties, but we really don't know each other very well.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Tell me a little about yourself.
Kevin is my husband. I live in actually Western Mass. I grew up in Wilbraham. We just recently moved back to Wilbraham. And I have 4 children. I have one on the way. And I am a hairstylist.
Oh, nice.
I work at Ochoa for hair. And actually, they're like a family-owned salon. So there's actually one that's like out towards South Boston. They have one in Wilbraham, one in South Hadley, and one in Southie.
Nice.
Yeah, which is great. So it's like I've come out this way for Kevin's work and actually for my job.
That's great. How long have you been a hairstylist?
For 14 years this year. Yeah.
That's great. And are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I actually love it.
That's great. What got you started?
Well, I feel like my beginning is like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really was going to go into nursing, but then I wasn't really feeling that. And I was kind of like hitting an age where I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what I want to do. And my hairdresser at the time was like, you should really do hair. You love fashion. You love all this stuff. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll try that. But if you asked me like when I was younger, oh, are you going to be a hairdresser? I would have said no.
Never would have expected it.
Yeah, no.
Wow, funny.
So then I was like, okay, I'll try that. And yeah, I went to hair school. And then after that, I went to aesthetic school. So technically I can do hair and I can do facials and all that, but I don't really do that anymore. But I more did it because I loved makeup. And so that's helped me because I do a lot of brides, weddings, and stuff too on the side. So yeah, I have worked at Ochoa since the beginning for the 14 years. And they've been great because I have so many children that they've been very accommodating to my schedule. Now I'm down to I only work 2 days a week because of Kevin's schedule. And hairdressing schedule is a little unique where you have to kind of work an evening a little bit. And so it's just been great that they have let me kind of create my own schedule to work with my family.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have a busy season?
I feel like that used to be kind of through before COVID, but now it's kind of I feel more all year that Really? It stays consistent. Besides, if I was to do weddings, I used to do them a little bit more before I had the majority of my children because that's a lot of weekends and stuff. So that's hard. And I would rather be with my kids. Yeah. So I do it to basically help out. I'll do a few here and there. Or if they're my personal clients, I'll do them. But that tends to be wedding seasons change too. That used to be June, everybody used to get married. Yeah. And now it's October, everybody gets married. It's the fall.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's when I got married 14 years ago, was in the fall. And that really wasn't
as popular.
Yeah. Because I remember thinking I went to a place, we got married at the log cabin, which is in Holyoke, and it's beautiful because it overlooks the valley. But I remember walking in there being oh, I want a June wedding. And then they're well, we're kind of busy. And then I saw a picture of somebody with it had the fall. You could see the whole valley and see the fall leaves.
The foliage must have been gorgeous.
I know. And I was oh, I want that.
Yeah. June weddings are also hot.
I know.
You want to dance and have fun and sweaty and gross. Yeah, that's awesome.
So yes, she was we actually have something available. And I was okay. That works for me.
That's great. So you got married 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
How did you and Kevin meet?
So we met young. We both worked at Walgreens together.
Cute.
Yeah. He was the cashier. I was a cashier. We were married young. We got married. I was 24 and Kevin is 2.5 years younger than me. So he was 21 turning 22.
Wow, that's extra young for a guy.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
What made you get married so young?
I don't know. He was like crazy, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. He asked me, like, we dated for a year, and actually we both came off different relationships. I was going to school out and I worked at Walgreens. I went to school out in Chicago for a year. So I left that Walgreens and I was going to art school out there.
Oh, cool.
For fashion design. And I was with a guy. I broke up with him and I was kind of like, you know what? I'm over being away from home. So I came back and I worked at the Walgreens, went back to the Walgreens I originally worked at, and Kevin was working there. And we kind of like, he started talking to me. I was kind of like, I don't really want to hang out with you. I wasn't like ready yet. He always jokes about that. It's because you said no that I wanted to like, you know, keep going at it. And I was like, well, I guess it worked out.
Playing hard to get.
Yeah. I guess it worked out in the end.
That's great.
Yeah. So we dated a year and then he asked me to marry him. And I think like we were just talking about that. One of his very good friends he was friends with in high school, he passed away right before that. And right before that, he told Kevin, he's like, you have to marry that girl. So
that's so sweet.
I know.
Wow. Did you know him?
Yes. His name was like Alex. And actually he was like in a wheelchair. So he went in for like a surgery for that and it just went kind of like wrong. Yeah.
That was his best friend.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh. It was like one of his really good friends.
That's really hard.
Yeah.
Wow. But something nice came out of it.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's great. He encouraged him in the right way.
Yeah.
That's good.
I guess.
So when did he get on the fire department?
So he's been on the fire department. So my oldest is 11. So he got on when she was born. So he's been on total like 11 years. I guess technically 12 because he worked on a call department 1 year before that.
Okay.
And then before that, he was like going to EMT school. So he worked as like a basic, basically, for right before he got into the department.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that been like for you?
I would say now it's great. It's the only schedule I kind of know. And maybe because we were both so young, it's kind of like you just learn together and we grew together. So in the beginning, like before we had kids, it was kind of fine. I feel like when I've had my first daughter is kind of where that struggle is with the scheduling. Even when he was like a basic, he worked a lot of nights. And then he was going to paramedic school at the same time. So it's
Which is very demanding.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like all of that was happening at once. And then and I feel like this always happens with us when it's like everything kind of comes together all at the same time. So when I got pregnant with my first, he literally was like applying to go for his first fire job.
Okay.
And then like we're literally at the hospital waiting for the phone call to like get the job.
While you're having a baby.
Yeah.
That would happen.
That's the start.
Wow. Off to a strong start.
Yeah, right off to a strong start. And my oldest was like in the NICU. And we were just talking to his sister being like, okay, can you hold the phone out here just in case the fire department calls so we can like accept the job? I was like, oh my God.
Wow. Why was she in the NICU?
So like I went to full term and my water broke, but like nothing happened. So they had to do like an emergency C-section. And I think she either swallowed the meconium or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And so she like had to be in the NICU for 7 days.
Oh my gosh, that must have been so scary.
Yeah, I feel like I was just talking about this too as well. Being like, you know, I feel like it was my first, so I didn't know what to expect. And you're kind of just going through the motions of it. And not until later do you realize, oh, that's like pretty
traumatizing.
Yeah, like serious and pretty like, but you're just hoping each day you can go home. And luckily we were able to go home after the 7th day.
Wow. I had a sort of similar experience. I had a C-section. My water broke. We tried. I couldn't even get to the point of pushing, and I ended up with a C-section.
I like literally walked into the hospital, and I was like, here I am.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Same.
Like no really like labor at all. And they're like, her heart rate plummeted.
Same.
And we're sending you in. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow. And then I remember after being like, wow, they just literally took my insides out.
No, literally.
It's scary.
Yeah.
You feel violated in a weird way.
Yeah, you kind of do. And it's kind of like you're trying to be, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I got home where it's like, I was like in tears by the time I got like to nighttime.
For sure. And now you're on your 5th one.
Yeah.
So have you had all C-sections or did you have?
So no, like, because I feel like that was so traumatic in a weird way, I was like, I don't want that. So I was like, could I try for a VBAC?
Yeah.
And it worked.
That's great.
So I've had
all vaginal deliveries after. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. What do you think is a better recovery?
I think vaginal, to be honest. Yeah. I know people would probably put that to debate, but it's definitely less painful after. The recovery is like easier. I was able to I didn't do an epidural, so like literally right after I could get up.
Wow.
And walk around, and it was like nothing.
You didn't do an epidural?
No, I know, because I was so nervous. Yeah. It would slow everything
And did you
down.
do that for the 2, 3, and 4? You had no epidural?
Then once I did it for the first one, which was my first vaginal, which would be my second
child,
that was probably the hardest pregnancy or the hardest delivery because it's like your first vaginal birth. And even though that was kind of difficult, like pain-wise, I was still like, oh, I could do that again.
Yeah, especially after having had a C-section.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Luckily, like with my C-section, I didn't really.
You didn't push. You didn't get there safe.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of just like more the other way around of being like, okay, here you go. And then she's in the NICU. And
yeah. And then having her in the NICU, that's so scary. And you were young.
Yeah. I was 27 when I had my first.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Geez. And how about the rest of them? Were they easier after? Did anybody end up at the NICU?
Nope,
no.
Nobody did. Yeah, everybody was fine after. So it was pretty
good,
like easy deliveries.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've recovered because you're on number 5.
I know. I know,
great.
which is so unheard of, but
I know.
It's great, actually. Yeah.
So you were just telling me a little bit about the statistics of having a 5th.
I know.
Tell me more.
Like we like kind of chat GPT'd that, like, oh, what's the statistic of having even just 5 babies in general? And that's like 3%. So we have all girls, and my one that I'm expecting is a girl. And the statistic is less than 1% to have all girls.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. But obviously it's in the genes.
I know, right?
That's great.
Kevin's only meant to have girls.
He's a girl dad. He's probably very in touch with his emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Or you're like beaten down to like definitely feel that
Poor
emotionally.
True. Poor guy. So what has been the best part for you of being a firewife?
I feel like it's, well, what do I want to say? It's like an honor. I think like other wives have said that too. It really is like an honor to have somebody who, you know, you can look up to that takes care of the community. He really is like, I don't know. In some way, I feel like it makes him like such a well-rounded, even guy in general. Even though it's such a hard job, I feel like he can navigate a little bit like easier. I don't know. And I am proud to be his wife and to be a firewife.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's been I don't like to say the word worse, but what's been the hardest part?
I feel like it's the schedule, definitely. Even though it's so easy. Like he's home as much as he's not home, you know? But that's probably the hardest thing. And I feel like he deals with calls pretty well, so it's not like he comes home a lot with having to like deal with that, but it is a learning curve, I think, as we were younger, to be like, you know, how do you kind of like shut things off emotionally or like leave things at the door when you come home? And I think that's a hard part too.
That's a really hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you figured out how to handle that? Like what's your technique?
I feel like it's just communication between the both of us, which we've learned over time. And maybe being young and married, I feel like we both have grown in this same thing or same career kind of together, that we've had our trials of, I would argue with him saying how I do more or I have to worry about stuff at home. But like he has a hard job too. There's a lot of responsibility that he has to uphold at work that, doesn't always click with me because I'm not at work and doing his job. I can only do my job at home. So I feel like in the beginning of our journey, that was like the hardest thing, was navigating like, okay, my role is to do this stuff at home. And I kind of just have to kind of like accept that scheduling. And not that that's a bad thing, but that is just like my role, because it's like their schedule changes so much. They're not there enough to, be present for every single thing, like birthday parties or things like that, or bringing them to practice, or bringing them, my girls do dance and sports and stuff. So it's like bringing them all those places. So I feel like that's like maybe the hardest thing to kind of like deal with.
Yeah.
Is the emotional side of
him missing out on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in a way, almost like single parenting.
Yeah, basically.
Right? Without really being a single parent.
Right.
Which is, we're fortunate for that. But there are aspects of it that are similar.
Yeah, I agree. That's like the hard, I think that's what you argue over the most. Who does what? Who does more? Which isn't always like the best thing, but we've kind of learned to, as we've grown, like these are just like the way, it's just the way it is.
Right.
In that world, yeah.
That's true. I remember talking to somebody about how it can't be 50-50 all the time.
100%.
It never will be.
And I feel like even marriage in general is never 50-50, because somebody is always giving, when someone's giving 80% and maybe you're giving the 20%, there's always usually a reason for that. And I feel like it always shifts. So it's like, even though somebody might be giving more and somebody might be giving less, the next time that person could have the opposite scenario. And I feel like once you realize that too, it can just be a little bit easier.
Yeah. Trying to figure out like, hey, what's going on with you?
Right.
Like, where's your head at right now?
Exactly.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Which is very good advice, I think, for anybody who's kind of in this position that we're in, just remembering that, hey, maybe they had a call that was really bad. Maybe they're just really beat down right now. And they, we all get that way, and we're not
100%.
all in a similar position.
Yeah.
Right? But what other advice would you give? Anything other than that comes to your mind?
Now I'm trying to think.
I know. Putting you on the spot too. Because that was probably your advice. Now you have to come up with something else.
I know, right? I feel like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's good to have a good support group. So like I have a great family who's always there to help me out. My parents, they're like, 911. It's like, if I need help, they're definitely there. And then my best friend, Caitlin, her husband is a cop.
Uh-huh.
So growing up, our two older kids are the same age, and we had them obviously around the same time. And we actually used to do dinners together during the week. So if our husbands were working, I would call her and I'd be like, oh, you want to come over for dinner? And we would like kind of switch on and off, which was so helpful. Because then she could relate in the schedule kind of like I was at. I've known her since I was like 16. So when I went over there, I didn't really feel like, it was like having like a sister. Like you don't feel like you're hosting. You're going over there to have like she'll make dinner if I'm over there. I'll make dinner if she's coming over to my house.
Right.
The kids play. We hang out. And I think that was kind of like the best thing to have, is to find some type of support to help you out.
Right.
Like at home.
Right. That's really nice that you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 5 girls.
Yes.
Well, a 5th one on the way.
Yes.
Do you feel that Kevin being a firefighter, which is like a predominantly male field,
Yep.
right, has influenced how you raise your girls? Or does it affect what you teach them? Or would you want them to be in that field, knowing that it's mostly men and different mentality than girls and women are usually brought up with?
Yeah. I feel like none of my girls have showed like interest in that field. But I feel like it kind of actually and maybe it's because we have all girls, it kind of softens him a little bit. Because the field is so hard that I feel like having all girls has maybe kind of like opened him up a little bit more emotionally.
Right.
But I mean, if they really wanted to be firefighters, of course it's like, they could go do it.
Right.
The field is a hard field to be in. And I think as a woman it is too. So I feel like you really have to have the right personality to kind of go into that field.
Yeah. You have to be tough.
Yeah, you do. And my girls are young, so I don't really see that quite yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if my husband would push them per se in that field. Maybe more towards like the medical side of stuff. But if they wanted to, of course, we would be like...
Yeah, you would support regardless.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think anybody's interested in the fashion or the hair or the makeup?
Yes, they are interested in that. And even like hairstyling is like, that's a hard field too. It's hard on your body and stuff. Yeah. I would say you would really have to be into it, but they are into all that.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Yeah. I would not do well in that field. Like, I am so illiterate with makeup. I can do hair okay, like for my own hair.
Yeah.
But I know nothing about makeup. I would be a very poor makeup artist. I'll tell you.
I feel like it's like you can be taught. It is like it's hard because it is like very emotional. It's the one field where you get to like touch your client, but then also you really get to know them. So like they're there to kind of like enjoy themselves. They're relaxed, your clients. And we do share like a lot of different emotional stuff. Right. They'll share emotional stuff with me. And if like over time I share stuff with them, we know a lot about each other. So even on my end, like coming home sometimes I have to be like, okay, I have to turn that off.
Interesting.
Of being like, I've been talked to all day long and sharing stuff. And some stuff is like sad. Sometimes some stuff is great and fun in people's lives. But you hear a lot of different things where it's like, okay, I got to take a breath before I walk through the door. Yeah. And like do the same thing kind of like in a way what Kevin has to do. Okay, I got to like leave that at the door.
Yeah. I mean, you're kind of a therapist sometimes.
Yeah. A lot of, yeah.
I mean, people sit with you for at least an hour or two every time. And if you're coming every few weeks.
You really get to know people.
You really get to know people.
Yeah. Yeah. People have told me like, if they've had cancer, if cancer's come back or somebody's sick in their family and you're trying to like, and then people tell me like, oh, I'm getting married or I'm dating this person or this is going on. And it's great because I love to like listen to people. I love to be there for them. So it's not like, I don't enjoy that part of my job, but it is kind of like you talk all day long. So sometimes when you leave, it's like, okay, I need to take like 5 minutes. Yeah. Before I walk into the door.
Do you drive in a silent car ever?
Yeah. I
do.
Like a lot of times I drive in a silent car almost all the time when I drive.
Okay, so I do that sometimes. Okay,
which
I
is
talk
like
a lot
so
in my
weird,
job.
right?
And Robbie thinks it's the craziest thing. He's like, you have to be a sociopath to drive in a silent. And I'm like, I just need silence.
I know. I never like told people anyways too because it is weird.
But I don't think it's weird.
But I love to drive in silence.
Me too. It's time to just shut down for a minute. And not have, like, especially if I know where I'm going, it's like an easy route. I don't have to think.
It's quick. I rather drive in silence. Right. 100%.
What do you, when you're not in silence, what do you listen to in the car? Are you a podcast person, a music person, a book?
I like podcasts.
What are you listening to right now?
I listen to, I don't know, a lot of like different, right now I listen to like I grew up Catholic. So I found a few people that I like to listen to who do like a Catholic podcast just to kind of grow in my faith with that. I like political stuff, but then I like fun kind of, I don't know, girly stuff too, hairstyle stuff. So
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The podcast game is just nuts right now.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually listen to like true crime, just like a typical,
oh my God,
such a stereotypical answer, but they're so fun.
I love listening to that.
They're really good.
Too.
Yeah. What's your favorite like true crime podcast?
Well, I hear all the stuff from my mom. She's like into that. So she listens to, and so then I'll kind of catch up with her, like the Dateline,
Oh, cool.
like podcast.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. I've listened to a bunch, but off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of. There are so many actually. Now I'm trying to tell you what they
I know,
were in
and then
there.
it's like
But there was one
blanking.
about this woman who during the pandemic, the name's escaping me, but during the pandemic, she pretended to be pregnant a bunch so she could have midwives like over the phone support
Oh
her.
my God.
And it was like it was just the craziest scam. Like I just can't wrap my mind around why you would pretend to, like she pretended she was in labor but having a bad labor and things like that, and like she never was pregnant at any point. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it.
My like me and my mom will talk about it 'cause she listens to a lot more, so then I'll like read up on it. But she's like, there's always the three things, and I can never think of the third of why people like will hurt or murder somebody else. And it's like cheating, money, and then there's one other thing. She's like, and usually it's always one of those things.
Yeah, makes sense. But I don't know. People are weird.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Weird.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're Catholic. You listen to some Catholic podcasts, and you're also into politics, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because right now we're in a weird world.
Yeah.
Tell me how you put those two together.
I don't know. I guess so. I like grew up Catholic, and then of course, like a lot of people, like I walk away from the faith. And then I think when I had my kids, there was kind of like a calling to go back. And so I like kind of have veered back. And so I feel like listening to people and listening to people debate, it kind of makes me learn a little bit more about my faith. And then, I don't know, I always like listening to world kind of like views and stuff. So then the political stuff that kind of coincides with that, I listen to kind of like blend it all together, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have both outlooks.
Yeah.
And put it together.
Right. And I think like through COVID, because of all that, like, you know, you realize how like bad the world seems, but then if you can kind of come back and be like, oh, there is good always. So then it kind of grounds me a little bit that you have to focus on that.
It's nice that you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being a firewife, it must be helpful, I would imagine, to have that faith that you can think he'll be home.
Yeah.
Or even if, God forbid, he wasn't,
I would be taken.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah. I definitely like have, like I'll tell Kevin this, like even like if we go to church on Sunday, it's like I always, and I'm not saying I'm like a perfect Catholic, but I like pray that, you know, for his protection that he always comes home. And if anything was ever to happen, then, you know, I have a good support system, but I just rely on my faith that he'll be taken care of. I think that's like the only thing you can do because you can't really dwell on thinking about their job and stuff. Bad things are going to happen.
Right. Right.
So it kind of lets me release that.
Yeah.
And leave it up to faith.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that. Not everybody has that. It's
yeah.
great. Yeah. Do you bring your kids to church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go.
How do they behave?
Terrible. No. My youngest right now is terrible. My older two, they're good. They altar serve. They wanted to do it. So we asked them. I also, though, I got involved with the choir. So I sing in the choir there.
That's nice.
So I do that. They have a contemporary choir. So I do that one because it's every other Sunday. I tried the traditional one every Sunday, and it's like too much of a commitment with my kids. And then it comes down to like Kevin's schedule. He's not there every Sunday.
Right.
So when the kids were younger, I would have to find somebody to like watch them so I could do it. So contemporary is perfect. It's like 2 Sundays. I'm like, I can do something that's for me and, you know, doesn't cost anything, just a little bit of my time and enjoy doing something else.
That's great. Did you sing growing up?
Just like in chorus, but I always kind of liked to, like I like Broadway. I love all that stuff. So I was like, oh, this is something I could do. That's for me. It's like an hour of practice during the week and then an hour of my time on Sunday. And I was like, I can make this work. And now that my girls are older, Like I'm able to take them to practice. They'll take my youngest in the back and watch her.
Oh, nice.
And then we leave. Yeah.
Wow. How old will you let your oldest babysit?
I know this is a good question because we were just debating that.
Yeah, like you built yourself up for success having this many kids.
Yeah. I was like, she'll be 11 in July. And I think they had, like through our rec department, they had a babysitting thing that was like 11. And I was like, okay, if she does that and starts at home, maybe in the fall I can start kind of like letting her watch, like if I have to bring somebody to practice, run right back. But I don't know what like the perfect age is because I feel like I'm learning that too.
Yeah. I think it probably depends on the kid.
I know, right?
Yeah. But first girls are usually pretty responsible.
Yeah, I feel like she's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if I would leave my youngest home with her. I probably would like drag her along, but my older three are 10. Now I have to think 10, 8, and 6. She could handle kind of like watching them if I had to like.
For like a quick thing.
Yes, to like drop somebody off at practice that's like 5 minutes down the road and then come back.
Yeah.
It's like,
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Parent to parent with this many children, what car do you drive?
Oh my goodness.
Do you have a bus?
That's what I need next.
So you need.
That's what I definitely need. We like joke that we need one of those big, like huge vans. But right now I drive a Buick Enclave.
Okay. Is it a 3-row?
It's a 3-row. Okay. It has like the pilot seats, so I can kind of like get into the back a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be cramped once I have all 5, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Do you put the older kids in the back?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of my girls is like, she always complains she gets car sick, but she's going to have to sit in the back because I can't put the car seats in the back.
Yeah. Yep.
Though I'll let her like sit in the front if we're going somewhere, like, because she does get
car sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to be cleaning that up.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. That's a tough one. We were looking for cars recently, whatever. I got a car probably a year ago now, which is crazy. And I ended up with a Pathfinder, which is a 3-row.
Oh, yeah.
We only have 2 kids, but we have 2 dogs. And I drop my nephew off at school all the time and this and that. So we always have 3 car seats in the car.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we might as well. We're going to have the car for a few years.
You like need the third.
You need the 3rd row.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Because then if you want to bring anybody extra, which we won't be able to anymore.
That's okay. Put them on top.
Yeah, put them on top. Sorry,
Strap
got to
them
get your
into
own
the
ride. You like need it to like get anywhere.
Yeah.
And also like all the stuff they have.
I
like
know.
if you have sports, it's like then you got to upload all that into your car.
That's true.
And the stroller, that takes up so much room.
Yeah, the stroller is a big factor.
Yeah.
Do you have what kind of stroller do you have? I wouldn't have even thought of that.
It's funny because we have like a Graco. We're going to get a Graco double stroller. But I got Graco years ago because of like my dad worked at a company, American Saw, which is in East Long Meadow. And Rubbermaid bought them. So like Rubbermaid owned Graco.
Okay.
And so I got a discount.
Oh, nice.
But I feel like now that's Graco's like, I don't know, people get different brands now.
I have pretty much all Graco.
I know.
I think they're great. Yeah.
I think they're great.
I feel like a lot of the brand names, like the Nuna and then this and that.
And the Uppa Baby.
Oh my gosh, they're so expensive.
I know.
And like your kid's going to puke and poop on it. Like what's
and it just gets like, my mom was like nice enough to get me a new stroller for my last baby as like a gift. And it's already like a year.
Yeah.
Like a mess.
Yeah. We have a double stroller.
And I'm pretty clean. Yeah. But it's like the dirt, everything.
It's unavoidable with kids. Yeah. You can't help it. Yeah. We have the Graco double stroller. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I think you'd like it.
Okay.
We have the one that's like.
Is it the front and the back one? That's the one I was like just looking at.
So we thought about the side-by-side, but it's hard to get through the door.
Stores. Like,
yeah.
You need
like
something
knock everything
that's
over.
like you can maneuver quickly.
I know. But then you have to remember that they're much farther out in front.
I know. That's the only thing.
So I keep bumping into people in the front because I'm like, ooh, sorry. I can't see. But it's good. I like it.
All right. Yeah. That's good.
You should think about it.
Yeah. That's what we were just about to get. Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Cool. What funny stories, or my last guest, her name was Noelle, she said, shift happens. Do you have any funny, not so funny things that happened to you while Kevin was at work that you're like, of course this would happen on a shift day?
Oh my goodness. So right before We lived in Wilbraham. We lived in Somers, actually Connecticut, which sounds, Connecticut probably sounds like far if you live out here, but it's 15 minutes from my house, like the
nice.
border. So we like lived there for a little bit, and it's a very small town. So I was at home by myself. I just put the kids to bed, and I'm literally sitting on my couch, and our old house was like a cape. So our living room, you could literally see kind of like the front door. And I had these glass windows. It was like a door with the 2 glass windows on the side. And all of a sudden, like someone's knocking at my door. It's like 9:00 at night. And I look, and from the couch, I see a guy at my door. And of course, our house was old, so the windows were like clear glass. So there was no avoiding.
Oh, hell no.
There was no avoiding.
No,
I
thank you.
make eye contact. And speaking of like all those murder podcasts, all I think about was like, just you can't open that door.
Do not.
Because they'll stick their foot in and then they'll come in and attack
gosh.
you. So I look at the guy and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And of course, Kevin's working, of course. So then I walk over to the door and I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, I need a ride. I'm lost.
Nope.
He's like, I need a phone. And I was like, okay. I said, I'll be right back. I run over. So it's like a cape. So it's like our staircase is in the middle of the house. So I run through our living room, go to like where the basement door is, which is like directly around the other side. And I call Kevin first. I don't even call the cops first. I call Kevin and I'm like, oh my God, there's a guy at my front door. I was like, what do I do? He's asking for a ride. He's like, you call the cops.
Yeah, like what am I supposed to do about it?
I've never called 911 in my life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, I've never had like an emergency to call. So he was like, you call 911. He's like, he got off the phone. He's like, I'll call 911. And so he called and he's like, he got back on the phone. He's like, you have to call. So I called 911. The lady picked up. I'm like, there's a guy at my door. I said, I'm alone by myself. My kids are home. He's asking for a ride. And like, she's like, is he still there? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going near the door because I don't want him to think I'm going to open it. She's like, okay, well, the cops are coming and they should be there any minute. And she just like hung up the phone.
What?
I know.
She didn't stay on the phone with you?
No. So then I was like, okay. So I called Kevin back and I'm like, they said the cops were coming. And mind you, I live in this town is very small. So during the day, they have a police department. At night, they use the state police.
Okay.
So there's like probably a couple that will go through the town. And so I called Kevin back and I'm like, they said the police are coming. I don't know what to do. So I'm like on the floor, crawling into like my daughter's room because I can see the front door from her window.
Oh, my goodness.
And he walked away by that point. So then I call my dad because they only live like 15 minutes. So he came over and he like circled the yard. And the guy obviously wasn't there. And then Kevin was on the forums, which, as anybody know, those forums are so open. Everybody's like post on there. He's like, I'm on the forum. He's like, I see that he went to other people's doors and people are saying that.
Oh my goodness.
So the police they didn't come to me because they were probably tracking
where he was.
So they've eventually found him and he legit needed a ride. Like that's what he was looking for. So to like his house. He was like, oh, I got dropped off.
Oh,
who knows?
He must have been mentally unwell.
Yeah.
I think.
Or like on something.
Yeah.
And so they brought him back to like wherever he was. And this was a nice town. So it's not like, it was a bad neighborhood or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just some random guy. But of course, I'm by myself.
Of course, with the kids.
I know.
That's crazy.
That's probably my craziest story that I've ever had.
That's so terrifying.
Yeah, it was at the time. And then, of course, afterwards, I'm like, all I can do is laugh about it. So I was like, of course this happens. And my dad's like, yeah, I know. He's
Did
like,
you install a security system after that?
Yeah, we had like cameras after that. Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really scary.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Wow, all the stuff that I've heard so far has been like, we have a leak in the roof and stuff like that.
No, I have a guy come to my house. And my mom's like, don't open the door. Because, of course, she listens to all that stuff, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know.
I would
he
never.
would stick his foot in, and that's
then
how
he'd
you
force
would
his
get
way
in.
through. Yeah. I know. Did you ever watch Criminal Minds?
I have watched that.
That
It's
show
been
will mess you up.
Oh, my God, I
Yeah.
know.
Yep, absolutely. So I've called 911 a few times. Usually it's while I'm driving. One time I was driving, I was coming home on like a road nearby here, and this car flashed their high beams at me. So I was like, oh, it must be a cop. Like that was my thought. I wasn't going fast anyway, but it was nighttime. And so I slowed down anyway. And then I see this person laying down in the road.
Oh, my God.
Wearing all black, just in the road. Like if that person hadn't flashed me, for all I know, I might not have slowed down enough and I would have run them right over.
Yeah.
So I slowed down. I was about to stop and he jumps right up and he jumps to the sidewalk and he waves at me like he's trying to flag me over, like, come here, come here. And I was like, hell no, I'm not coming here. So I just kept going and I called 911 and I guess multiple people had called saying that he was doing the same thing. So I don't know if he was trying to like pull somebody over to jump them.
Yeah, or like help them. Yeah.
But like, why would you lie down in the middle of the street if you need help?
Yeah.
So what if I ran you over and killed you?
Especially being like a woman, I'm like, I am not stopping for...
No. Not for anybody.
No.
No, I'll call 911 for you.
Yeah.
And that's the best that I can do, especially with kids in the
Oh my God. No.
Yeah. No good.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Wow. Well, that's quite the story.
Yeah.
You handled it very well.
Well, thank you.
Nice job. Any other stories or things that you would want to share? Anything else that you want to tell me about yourself or anything about being a firewife?
I know. That's like the craziest story I had. I feel like, I don't know. I'm just like proud to be a firewife. I'm proud to be my husband is truly the best. I love him so much. So it's like, you know, he takes very good care of me, very good care of our family. And yeah, without him, I couldn't do like anything. But I feel like, I don't know. I love that he loves what he does. I feel like people that become firefighters, it was like I always say this to him. I'm like, you are the one person I know that did your childhood dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he like knew he wanted to do that and he did it. Yeah.
That's so true.
That's
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a calling.
It definitely is.
Yeah. We're very lucky. I think one of the things that I love about Robbie being a firefighter is that, yes, he's away for 24 hours at a time. And I know some fire schedules are much more difficult.
I was listening to some.
I know.
And I was like, I don't know
how they do it.
Yeah.
But still, like we'll have I work 3 days a week. So we'll have like a random Wednesday off together. And I'm like, wow, this is the best.
Yeah.
You know, because people are working. So we get to do whatever we want. No traffic, no people, you know, it's great.
I know. That is like the best part about it.
Yeah. And then you get to like really bond.
Yeah. Like during the week when the kids are in school, we would do stuff together or like get stuff done together.
Right.
And it's like, that's like one of the most wonderful things kind of like.
You get to like almost keep dating in a way when the kids are old enough to be in school. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get to still have those days together where you're like, neither of us is working right now. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. It's like great.
Yeah.
As much as it is when it's like, it sucks for them to work the weekends and they work because of the way it falls. It seems like we just went through that. It's like he worked every weekend.
Yeah.
For like so many in a row.
Yeah.
And now it's finally like, okay, you're on the good side of the schedule. You get a couple weekends where we get it. But having those days off during the week is like priceless.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Does he do anything on the side?
So he actually does real estate on the side. So just started doing that.
What does he think?
He loves it actually because it's something different. He's very good at talking and so it's a good job for him. That schedule's also a little like all over the place. So right now it's like trying to adjust of like, okay, you have a showing to do. We got to like work out like how do you kind of navigate that? But he like loves it.
That's great.
I feel like all firefighters have a second job.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to. It doesn't pay enough unless they're married to somebody who's making a ton of money.
That's why one of the reasons like why he came out working this way, even though we live kind of in Western Mass and it's about an hour and 15. It was like a better opportunity to kind of like, okay, he took the civil service. He can kind of like explore a little bit of like, you know, what has bigger opportunities for him career-wise.
Right.
And kind of coming out this way, it did help in that way. Yeah, for sure. Because that job isn't always like, it's good. It's become better paying, I have to say.
Yeah.
As like it's progressed.
Right. So you must not be able to go to a lot of the events because you live so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of like, I liked listening to this. I liked getting to know some of like, you know, the wives in a way, but then listening to people talk about their experiences. I mean, I'm still close with a lot of the wives from the old apartment that he came from. Yeah.
Okay, that's great because that's near where you live.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. Right. Wow. I have been trying to be more. I'm just such a homebody that I'm like, 45 minutes is so far. But I don't want to do that anymore. I want to really be more involved. And it's been really nice getting to know people. So I feel lucky with that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I want our daughter to like grow up being part of that community.
Yeah, right.
And so
that is kind of nice to like have that.
Yeah. And our son too, but he's still a baby. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
But maybe one day.
Yeah,
one day.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
We actually brought my nephew recently. We went to the firehouse. It was his first time visiting a firehouse. And he saw Robbie come down the pole.
My God,
and it was
they
he like played with the hose and it was awesome.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
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 My girls all loved it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like the lights and the sirens and they get to climb things and do stuff and it's fun for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go in the trucks and see all this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they usually get a treat. Like they always have something sweet there. And
Yeah. Treats, hats, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like,
so what's your go-to dinner? Knowing how many mouths you have to feed.
oh my goodness. I feel like we do a lot of, like last night we did meatballs. That was like a big, like meatball grinder spaghetti, tacos, like typical hamburgers.
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do anything fancy.
No, like stuff that's like quick. I mean, I do like to cook. So sometimes I'll come up with my own thing and hopefully they all like it. But it's so busy during the week. It's like whatever
we can do.
Yeah. And like right now that I'm pregnant, it's like I don't like anything. Like I feel like cooking seems like so much work. When I actually do like it, but I'm like every day Kevin's like, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Nothing. I want everything
I want
but nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you have to eat, but nothing sounds good.
But nothing sounds good. Nothing sounds appetizing. So whatever is like quick. But I mean, I do try to like make somewhat healthy meals and like home cooked meals as much as I can because we're so on the go.
Yeah. Right.
Which is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just went on vacation and all we ate was like pretzels and pizza. And we got a little hotel like suite thing. And we had a fridge and everything. We had a kitchen, but we didn't get like enough fruit and this and that. And I just realized I learned a lot about my daughter. Like I know she loves fruit. She's okay with vegetables. She is so much pickier than I realized because at home I can always be like, well, here's some fruit.
Yeah.
Like fruit's healthy and that's great.
Yeah.
But we didn't get enough fruit. So she would spend the whole day just like eating nothing.
Well, that's like my girls too. They love fruit.
Yeah.
And you can always kind of gear them towards, okay, well, have that instead of like those bag of chips. But when you are out,
you just kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can't wait till you get home to like actually have like a home cooked meal.
I know. So I'm like, our fridge is empty. So I'm like, today's the day because we just got back last night. I'm like, today's the day. I'm going to go and stock up. We're going to get so much fruit, so many vegetables, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a good thing. But like we have nothing. I'm like, we need meat. We need everything. Bread, bagels,
Yes.
all of it.
Well, it's like constantly in our house. It's like we're running out of stuff or running to the store a couple times a week. Oh, we need produce. It's always like the first thing
that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we go through.
What grocery store do you go to?
We go to, Big Y is near us.
Okay.
So we go to Big Y a lot, but then we just got a BJ's
I
built.
was just going to say, you must have a BJ's.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have a Costco.
Okay.
So before that, we used to go to Costco like all the time.
Yeah.
Now where we live, it's like BJ's is like right there. So
That's
we
awesome.
get a lot of stuff there.
That's great. They have a lot more than you expect them to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, anything else that you want to mention?
I don't think so.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming. This was lovely.
Thank you for
I'm
having
glad we
me.
finally got to know each other a little bit.
I know.
That's great.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
This has been great.
This has been great. All right. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed being here as much as I did. If you have any questions for me or if you'd like to be interviewed, please reach out at thefirewivespodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Tune in next week for the next episode of Firewives.